Turd Snerdly, legal lawyer for Uncle Arty's bar and grill, whatever. Crappy book by Hezokuai Jenkins, Frauditor Handbook. Fuck you. I've had a couple shots of tequila. Oh, man, I don't know. Fuck that. I say, this chapter's memorizing the fucking script. If you want to memorize something, memorize these nuts. These nuts. I kid you. Whatever. Fuck you all. Fuck you, Hezokuai Jenkins. No, I didn't say that. I was joking. I was joking. I'm not paranoid. What are you looking at me for? Memorizing a script. There are many specific words and phrases that you will need to learn. Don't worry, however. There is no need to understand them. Merely just be able to repeat them at will. You may be now thinking, well, why do I need to memorize this script? Can I just film myself being a total douche nozzle and get paid for it? No. The purpose of the script is to preemptively give yourself an out for having to suffer any real consequences for your actions, like reading this book of writing hands and tickets. Remember, getting arrested is okay. In fact, encouraged. And arrest videos get you more views. However, the goal is to make money, and the adrenaline rush not to actually suffer any consequences. Using the script will put you in a position to not only get off, at most a small fine, but using the script will put you in a position to not only get off, yeah, I'm sure, I'm sure. Your form sets up. They'll also have opened the door to litigation against the state, and as much as the AdSense money is nice, a great big fat out-of-court settlement can get you the real massive payday. A frauder in Wisconsin, for example, once was arrested while frauding Green Bay City Hall and was awarded a $300,000 out-of-court settlement. Imagine how much cocaine you can buy with that kind of money. Means I can go back in there and sniff crack and cocaine off of that dead hooker's ass again. Below is a partial list of foundational words and phrases you will need to use each and every time you fraud it, limited only to whether you are frauding a random citizen or a cop. Shield yourself from punishment for your despicable actions. Although it is not a complete list of all script items, but by any means, these are the basics needed to get started. More advanced items will be covered in the tips and tricks of this handbook, which I already covered. There is no expectation of privacy in public. That is the default go-to for all fraud. See the badge number. The very first words you say to an officer as soon as they come up to you. That not only gives you the opportunity to accuse an officer of breaking policy if the officer does not answer, but also works to establish as you are now in control of the conversation, not the cop. Freedom of the press, another standard go-to for all frauders. I'm on a public easement or I'm in a publicly accessible area. Easement is generally used when outdoors. Accessible area is generally used indoors. I gotta pick my nose, but I got a hole here. Qualified immunity. This is a slightly complex idea and is most certainly beyond your comprehension. So is 2 + 2 = 5. If you touch me, that is a place of the groundwork for you to later file a lawsuit. First Amendment. Another default phrase used as a catch-all. And coverage is freedom of speech, which allows you to say horrible things to people. Freedom of the press, which allows you to do whatever you want, wherever you want, however you want, as long as you're filming it. And freedom of assembly, which also allows you to trespass. I'm a journalist. Another one to claim freedom of the press. They're dismissed. When a police officer is about to walk away, you say this to give your audience the appearance that the officer is leaving because you told him to. Or officer actually does walk away. Say this to convince your audience that the officer, having asked you questions, was engaging in shameful activity. There's no sign saying I cannot do this. If there is no sign does not trump the Constitution. If there is a sign, what law is that? And or is that a law or an ordinance? More standard word salad, toss your salad. Toss your salad. Public records FOIA form request. This is a standard term used in front of official government buildings, such as police offices, and you leave anytime they uttered the word feel. I do not consent. You gotta say that often. I do not consent. I did not consent to read this piece of crap, Hezokuai Jenkins. Am I being detained? Answering questions for any police officer for any reason, especially if you are clearly not being detained, this helps to build a false narrative, which will be covered, has been covered in details in the tips and tricks section of the book that I've already covered. Yada yada yada. Call your daddy or daddy's here. This is to be spoken to random citizens when they call cops. Daddy is the police. Here is a modern day derogatory sense, however, is to be used towards any woman who does not like being filmed. Tong fu, a demeaning way to refer to a cop's reaction to your lost word salad. I want the cops as with some of that tong fu. Always keep in mind that memorizing the script is not about following it to facilitate a fraud, as described in previous slides, described in future sections of the handbook. Having a properly demented mindset and are invested in the script, however, is paramount to avoiding any real meaningful prosecution. You will be reciting these lines, have a record of on your video that can be used in court for your defense if need be. Only a couple more of these things from this shitty book, from this bastard right here. This is Uncle Arty. I'm gonna go get high and drunk again and sniff some cocaine off the dead hooker's ass. Thank you and have a shitty day, jackass.